Most of the questions that I've got here are specifically related to, just really asking how do I effectively audit my maquila and or third-party manufacturing operation inside of Mexico. There's a couple questions as it relates to that. I've got a question here. It's from a specific industry. We are a leather manufacturing company that exports cowhides into Mexico for processing. Are there specific requirements for my commodity? But I think because we're kind of at a 101 level, based on the attendee list today, we have aerospace, we have apparel and textiles, we have food ingredients. We've got the cowhide question here, but I think, in general, we've got a lot of different things that I think fall under that very specific HTS numbers, the ones that customs are concerned with, including metal products and things like that. In general, maybe there some specific places that these people should look to for the requirements to import and or consult with.
Well, it's a great question. Yeah. Certainly, if you're involved in any of those sensitive HTS codes, and certainly cowhides could be sensitive, certainly medical, food, chemicals, apparel, certain things are quite highly sensitive in Mexico. Yeah. The main thing is really working closely with your Mexican customs broker. Typically, they'll run those through. In some cases, you may need a permit in order to bring that into Mexico, yes. And they can help you arrange to get the permit. The permits aren't too difficult for most maquilas to get because essentially you're bringing it in temporary. Now, if you were making a definite importation into Mexico, that would be quite different because if it was a permanent importation and going to be distributed within Mexican commerce, that could raise certainly some other issues. But because it's temporary, in most cases, getting those kind of permits is usually quite straightforward. Yes. And again, that's going to be part of your permitting process anyways as a maquila, and it's going to be part of your contract and a part of your operational practices. So if they approve you for these operations, generally getting the status to bring this stuff down is pretty easy. Yes.
Would that be considered the sensitive areas too? Because one of the questions was I want to learn about the high risk areas. Would the sensitive tariffs also be the high-risk areas, or would high risk mean something else to you?
No, high risk that specifically means the type of commodity that you're wanting to bring into the country. So we don't have an actual list of everything that is sensitive for Mexican customs purposes, but off the top of my head, apparel definitely comes into play.
Chemicals,
food, also food,
pharmaceuticals.
Exactly, those. And like Steve just mentioned, if it's a permanent importation into Mexico, that raises it up a notch because at that point, now you're having to meet now Mexican government requirements as far as importing into the actual country. So
yeah, they're similar to the U.S. I mean, in the U.S., we would say that certain sensitive commodities have higher standards, higher requirements, more hoops to jump through in order to bring those items in. Not that you can't bring them in, it's just that you might have to go through some other requirements. Other agency, for example, the PGAs here in the United States certainly can come up.